Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thank you for joining us. I have just been really overwhelmed with gratitude with all of the different ways that we work together. And this gratitude call is one of those ways that we mastermind together. We create something really amazing here on the call. We also have a text thread that continues after the call. If there's thoughts, that people have that they want to share beyond the call. This morning, one of our participants that was a live participant for 3 years or something like that, but she's had other things in her life that have drawn her away from being on here live, but she still wants to be on that text thread. And she sent a video this morning, a YouTube video this morning. And, I'm just super grateful that we still have that connection with people who are maybe not able to be here on here live. And I also was really struck as we were sharing gratitude before we started the recording, that there were so many people who mentioned about different connections where growth happens. One of our participants right now is visiting some friends, and she's just super grateful for being back in this, her home of origin, she called it, and the connection that happens there with old friends, friends and family activities, wonderful group of friends, energetic connections. A strong team, networks, different groups that help us to grow, people that work together with us on a pilot course to help us figure out glitches, listening to others. There was just it seemed like probably half, I underlined a lot of these things, that had a connection with these learning and growing with a group, within a group. And my underlines, it's probably more than half of the list that I had written down. So we definitely are going to focus on that today. Gratitude for working and creating together is the way that I wrote it. So gratitude for working and creating together. We're going to have a private silent meditation. And let me get my timer set, 90 seconds. And so just write down whatever comes to you on gratitude for working and creating together. Begin. All right. I hadn't really realized when I put both those words, working and creating, together, how much more freeing and happy the work becomes when you couple that with creating, when you have that conjunction word and. It's not working or creating. It's not like I'm working or I can be creating and you can't put the two together. It really does. They both do go together. For example, my daughter and her husband are going to be moving into our house this weekend. I'm not sure how long she's going to be here. They're going to be here because they've sold their house and they're still looking for a home. And so they're just needing a place to stay in the interim. And they've been bringing over lots of boxes and stuff. And it's felt like a chore, obviously, to get everything boxed up and brought over. But she mentioned last night, they came over about 10 o'clock last night. And she goes, I'm sorry, we're always coming over so late. She says, just when I get home from work, we just want to chill for a little bit and relax and, get something to eat and just kind of enjoy each other before we get into the drudgery. She didn't use that word, but that's kind of what it felt like, just the drudgery of like boxing things up and moving them over. And, it felt like work. But she added, she says, but we're just going to bring everything over. And she says, after we get moved over here, then we'll start, kind of figuring out where everything goes. So it kind of felt like there was a separation of the work and the creating. It's like the work is the drudgery of boxing things up. And then the creating is like opening up the boxes and then figuring out where stuff is going to go. We moved our bedroom upstairs, so they have the whole basement to be their space and, to have some privacy down there. So she's, and I'm encouraging her to go ahead and decorate it, take down any paintings that you want, you don't want up there or whatever decorations, feel free to change anything that you'd like. And so there's going to be a time of creation. And anyway, but as I saw working and creating, the boxing up, it's not, it doesn't have to be drudgery. I mean, this is part of creating their new future, of creating their new home that they haven't even found yet. And so that was just kind of what came to me, was just this beauty that when you put work and creating together, and maybe that's really what my message was, is, when I said it, working, creating together, I was thinking about people doing it together, but working and creating together as a single thing, working and creating, putting both of those two together to create something really awesome. Who else has something they'd like to share?
I'd like to share.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
As I contemplated here, there are some words that came to my mind. One was feedback. The other one was other perspectives, helping hands, support, and unity. And the one that stood out to me the most was feedback, and how sometimes feedback can seem like a really negative thing because someone tells you what you're doing wrong. And I used to be really resistant to that. I used to be really resistant to feedback, and I would get really defensive if somebody pointed out one of my mistakes or something that I could do better. But I've learned that feedback is valuable. In fact, like, you might even want to pay them for giving such awesome feedback, because you don't see how you're always coming across. And it's good to have that other perspective that can show you where there's a hole, and so you can patch it, like, and I just think about, like crossing the lake, and just assuming that your boat is sound before you jump into it, and then somebody going, oh, by the way, did you notice that hole? Mm-hmm. So important to have feedback.
Beautiful. Thank you. I think that's what we do as mentors, right? Is like when you said, you might even want to pay someone to give you feedback. I know, I've given you a ton of feedback. You've given me a ton of feedback. We as as we mentor each other, that's what it's all about. And there has to be some trust. There has to be an element of love to, you have to be able to feel that that other person loves you, and you have to be able to trust that person, that they're giving you feedback based in love, to be able to receive it. And sometimes we get resistant to it because we maybe have received feedback in a way that isn't based in love. Yeah, I appreciate that. It does really help us to grow together when we have, when we're allow feedback and when we're willing to give feedback. Thank you. Who else?
One thing that went along with that is yesterday I was feeling really frustrated and irritated with my sister because of some of her response to me going out of my way to serve her. And I felt like she was being really condescending and ungrateful. And so I knew that that was my irritation with it, was something inside of me. And so I asked, what lack I get, like in relation to that? And I didn't receive an answer until this meditation, because I realized that I've been expecting my family to show up in a way that I wanted, and they haven't been. And so it was just the aftermath of my bitterness for that. And so that was very enlightening, and I appreciated that extra understanding.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And that 90-second meditation, you wouldn't think that 90 seconds would be that powerful, but that's all we need sometimes, is just a few seconds to take a moment, to listen for the answer to come. I love that. Also, something that I want to mention, whenever you feel any kind of low vibration emotion, like frustration, irritation, whatever, that it's your problem. If you're the one with the problem, it's your problem. They don't need to change. They can change if they want to, but we don't have control over that. But if I'm feeling irritated or frustrated about something, I know there's something I get to learn. And what a beautiful lesson, Tyree, to notice those expectations that you're having. Thank you. Who else? I want to also just kind of add on to something else that just came to me as Tyree was talking with this working and creating together, that you and your sister Tyree were working and creating together yesterday. You were serving, she was somehow being resistant, with her response to that service. And that those two together, you and your sister together, the way that you showed up, allowed you to grow and learn. And without her doing that, you would never have gotten that feedback that, like Phil was talking about, to be able to change.
I'd like to share. So the last couple of days have really been a lot of working and creating together. We've had some yard work that David used to love to do, but he isn't capable and able to do that. So my son has been coming down, and my daughter came down and helped Wednesday. But yesterday we babysat for my son, and they went golfing and created some time with some friends that they hadn't had for a long time. But then when they got back, they were so grateful that we were able to babysit for them, that they're just like, what can we do for you more? And they've been doing so much already anyway. But Thursday nights we water, irrigation, and the ditch. There was a place that was low and was going out in the wrong place. And so they just got 3 wheelbarrows of dirt and worked together and created that, building it up so that the water wouldn't run where we didn't want it to go. And yet they were grateful to us for being able to babysit for them so that they could spend some quality time with some friends that they felt had been neglected. And so there was just really a lot of creating greater friendships, creating relationships, and working together. And the way my son put it was, yeah, Haley really was looking for some physical labor to do for the day. And I'm so grateful for that, because we kind of avoid it for more reasons than one. So there was just a lot of creating, but the deepest, most important thing to me was just the way relationships are built and the things that we can learn from each other and help each other in that creation and working together.
Wow, beautiful. That is the definition of charity. When you think about charity, a lot of times you think about giving money, to an organization or something. But really true charity is you showing up in your gift, babysitting, and them showing up in their gift, dirt moving, and together working and creating together like that. That's really what Christ-like love is all about. Thank you. Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process?
I had a thought when I was writing. I was just thinking about, I shared earlier about having a pilot group run one of my courses and how they've helped me work through a bunch of different technical difficulties. And the Lord showed me that through that process, their patience with me is a reflection of his patience with me. That as I'm learning and growing and creating, that I don't have to have it all figured out before I can move on anything, that he's patient with me and teaching me to learn by grace, and that it's okay to make mistakes. And just that the Lord is my ultimate creative partner, and that he, shows me through people here on earth, a reflection of how he also works with me and loves me as I'm working and creating and working through some of the humps and stumbling blocks that come with doing something new.
Wow, beautiful. I love that you creating together with this pilot group is a reflection of you and the Lord creating together, and that he is your ultimate creative partner. I love that. It really brings, I know that we can't really even fathom with our finite minds and understanding what really that means to create together with Christ. But it kind of brings it down to an earthly level when we create an opportunity for people to be able to create and work together. And I'm sure that those who are part of your pilot group are feeling how much you are grateful for them. They're feeling your gratitude for them for the part that they're playing in you creating this pilot group, that it's not just all about you and you don't have all the answers. It really, when you invite other people into it, they feel a part of it. And there's just so much more power and heavenly power, I think, that's brought into a creation when you do that. Thank you. Awesome. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. I feel like this is just a really great place where Amy has created a transition here, that the Lord is our ultimate creative partner and working and creating together with him. Let's go ahead and take another deep breath. Just establish that connection, working and creating together with deity, knowing that they have all the answers, that they know the future. They know all the hesitations that you are experiencing. They know all the fears and doubts maybe that you have entertained. And they also know your natural gifts. They know your power. They know what you're capable of. And they know that together with them, that all things are possible. Also, that you can realize and understand that they have all power, that they have the ability and the power to orchestrate events in your favor. When you take them as a partner and allow them to put their signature on your creations, that you have access to their power as well. And if there is something in your life, an area of your life or a project or something that you have been trying to create on your own, and maybe you have not allowed others to be a part of that creation. So whether that is others, friends, family, coworkers, whatever, to be a part of it, or if you have felt alone and felt like you didn't have anybody to help you or any support, and maybe have even shut God out from working and creating together with Him because of your limiting beliefs, thinking that you had to do it all. So just be aware of whatever that situation is. And the first thing to be aware of is what your limiting beliefs are that have kept you from inviting other people and God into this space of creation with you to work and create together. What's your limiting belief that would stop that from being the easiest and most productive way to be? And with that limiting belief, there always is a cost. There's always some outcome that a belief creates, whether that's a limiting belief or a positive belief. But right now, we're just going to understand what the cost of this limiting belief has been in the past for you, and also what it would continue to create for you if you allow it to stay. And now that you're aware of what the cost of that limiting belief is, you have a choice. You can keep the limiting belief because you're very aware of it now, and you can make the conscious choice to just choose to keep that limiting belief and allow that outcome to continue. Or if you're ready to let go of that limiting belief and create something different, say yes.
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 Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So what are your new beliefs? If you're going to let go of that limiting belief, we need to replace it with something. So what new beliefs are going to take the place of that old limiting belief and allow you to move forward with a totally different outcome? And even letting go of the outcome. And maybe your new beliefs could even have something in there about just being free to create and work together with God. Allow Him to be your partner. Allow Him to be maybe even the leading partner. And that you are just asking, what's next, boss? And allowing Him to guide you, to lead you, not having to know the full plan, not having to know what the outcome really even is, but creating those new beliefs that allow you to work and create together with God and with those other people on earth who can support you and motivate you, help you gain more clarity, all these things that are going to allow you to move forward with more positive outcome. What are your new beliefs? 2 or 3 new beliefs at least. And then with these new beliefs, I invite you to go back to that situation and infusing that situation with these new beliefs, allowing yourself to see what will these new beliefs do for this situation. If the outcome is produced by the words that I speak and the words that I embrace, if the outcome is produced by that, what is the likely and inevitable outcome that must be produced with these new beliefs? And feel the change of energy within your body. And take note, maybe put some labels to those emotions and that state change that you are noticing within your body, having added these new beliefs to this situation, and the hope and the possibilities that are now available to you. And with this new feeling inside of you, what is the one most important thing that you could do today? What's your inspired shortcut to maintaining this state of being and also producing the outcome that you choose, the outcome that is inevitable? What is the one most important thing that you could do today, your inspired shortcut to producing this outcome, this new outcome? In a moment, I'm going to open it up for maybe we have time for 1 or 2 shares. And while you're kind of gathering your thoughts to see if you are someone who gets to share today, I just want to offer to meet with any of you, whoever's listening to this call, for 15 minutes, just to gain more clarity on whatever it is that you're needing support with, this particular situation that you're wanting to change in your life. And just really invite and allow me to be a partner with you in working and creating together in this particular situation. I'm happy to do it. It's what I'm a genius at. And so I would love to be that for you. And all you have to do is just go to askwylene.com. That will take you to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute call with me, askwylene.com. Who has something that they would like to share about their experience today?
I do.
Right.
Thanks, Michelle, and then Tyree.
Okay. Thank you so much, Wileen, and everybody. It's been a wonderful call. I wanted to share how grateful I am because I started working with a mentor, and it's opened my eyes, and I see things differently now. Ever since I just started working with her, and she's been wonderful, and she's helping me see my value. And it started out when I started talking to her yesterday, because when you talk about those things, what your limited belief was, mine was I was a burden onto her. I feel like I was a burden, and she's like, she just totally told me, no, you're not a burden, Michelle. You're not, because all my life I felt like I was a burden because of the things that happened to me as a child, right? Because I too was sexually abused, and I've experienced things in my life, and so I just felt like I was a burden and all my life. And she just told me that, she knows what? You are not a burden. And it totally opened my eyes, know that I'm not. And now I see that I am worth it, I am valuable, and I am loved. And to take that on, and how that she's helping me work and see the value in this new technique she's teaching me and create a new way of thinking. And it's just been beautiful, and it's been a wonderful experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And again, kind of reflecting that, having that be sort of a reflection of what Christ gives to us too. If we feel like we're a burden and we don't, we don't allow him to, we don't take his yoke upon us so that he can walk with us, we're carrying that burden unnecessarily. And what a beautiful experience for you, Michelle, to have your eyes opened and to see your value and to realize that you're not a burden. You definitely are not a burden. Nobody is a burden to a mentor. That is exactly what we want. We want people to come to us with their burdens so that we can help you lift them. And so never stop yourself from participating in something like that because of that type of, that's a total false belief. Thank you. Tyree.
I have a goal this week that I've been working on, and using your GPS planner has been so helpful, but I've really had a hard time following through with my shortcut each day. And I just realized during this last part of the meditation that I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it was possible, and I wasn't in faith, and I kept praying for help because I'd get through my morning activities of feeding my kids and watering my garden and, just doing those different things. And I would just be completely drained. I had nothing left. And so I was just praying and asking for help. And then I realized that I still didn't have faith that it was possible. And as I saw the room being completed in my mind, then it went from a lack of faith to complete gratitude. And I think that I was creating the no energy because I didn't believe it was possible. And so I'm grateful for that shift in energy that I definitely did feel.
Well, awesome. Thank you. And I feel like what you've shared is really a key to shifting that energy, is to not focus on the drudgery of the work, to really focus on the gratitude of completion. And even right now, as I'm saying it, I can feel a total shift in my body as I'm shifting the focus from the work of, the work, the drudgery of the work, to the gratitude of completion. It's like this, relief, peace, thank you. I mean, it just feels so good when you focus on that. And I know there was a scripture of a man who Jesus asked, I think it was Jairus's father, when she was dying, and he asked Jesus if he would come and heal his daughter. And Jesus said, do you have the faith that she can be healed? And he says, yes, I have the faith. Help thou my unbelief. He says, I believe. Help thou my unbelief. So it's like, yes, I do believe, but I still have some doubts. And please shore me up, like work and create together with me so that I can have that faith, so that I can have that belief be whole and perfect. Thanks, Tyree. Well, we are at the end of our time. I'd love to continue getting shares, but because I know that there are lots of really great shares that could be out there, but I'm going to encourage you to go to our Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, and share there, and let's continue our conversation there. We would love to continue working, creating together on our Facebook group. So we'd love to hear what you have to share there. Today's Friday, so we won't be on Saturday and Sunday. I just want to invite you to continue your gratitude practice, your daily GPS practice throughout the weekend. And then we will be back together on Monday, 7 a.m. Mountain Time, and look forward to what we get to create then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.